Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the podcast. So we have Eboni Price with us. Welcome, Ebony.
Hi, so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. We have so much to get into. You are like nonstop. And on this episode, I want you to teach our listeners, y'all out there, how she directed over 80 projects. Like, I'm just like, I want to make it make sense on this episode because we gotta put in some work. She got some keys, apparently, and she's worked with greats, and so we're gonna get into that. For now, I just want you to answer this trivia question to start us off.
Oh
Okay.
Lord. Okay.
All right. So, would you rather
Mhm.
direct the biopic for Beyonce of her life,
Okay. Okay.
or would you rather work with Spike Lee on a Marvel series?
One, Marvel feels intense. I do not direct action. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yes, I would love to get our girl on screen and do a lot of like concert shots and just like, who doesn't love Beyonce? I'm an OG member since 96. So,
Yes, yes.
child. Oh yes, sign me up for that.
Okay, she wants the icon. She wants the icon. That's a moment right there. All right. Well, we got Beyonce. We could do the Spike too. We gotta that would be a lot. That would be an experience too.
That would be an experience. For my mental health, let's go with Beyonce.
I agree. Now tell us, who was the first person to inspire you as a creative?
Ooh, ironically enough, I think it would be Spike Lee. I
Mm,
think, yeah, I think it would be Spike Lee. Actually, it's a combination. Okay, I
okay.
feel like the film is definitely Spike Lee, but honestly, if we're just talking about like inspiration as a creative, um, music videos. Because I feel like I
Mm.
watched TV a lot as a kid. Like, we used to go to the movies, and then I feel like, things happened and maybe money got a little tighter, so my family didn't go to the movies as much, so I always was in front of a TV. And I
Mm.
remember, like, the days of 106 in Park, and you think of, like, Benny
Yes.
Boone, Robinson, like, Director X, like, everything they were doing in music videos was just like great storytelling, and it really really attracted me to like film and TV. Or even Michael Jackson, like Scream, that was probably like my favorite music video, him and Janet. Like,
Yes, the black and white.
to me, like, I don't think people realize, like, as a child in the 2000s, to see that, like, it was like eye candy. Like, I just, oh my gosh, I was like,
Yeah, it
I
was brother and sister.
exactly, the shots, everything. So, I
Mhm.
actually think my first exposure to just, like, storytelling outside of the traditional, like, TV and film were really music videos in terms of creativity, so
I love that because I agree, and that's a good one because music videos transported you, and it's so amazing too for like I know some of y'all know Benny Boom to see him then go direct like the biopics, So it's that's why I brought that up too. I didn't even know. Actually, no, I did not know that music videos were it. So you might be through that Beyonce
yeah.
biopic because it seems like a lot of folks are into music industry videos are going into music biopics. So
Yeah.
we let's find it. We're here. We gonna see. All right, awesome. Now tell us about yourself and about Will Film for Food.
Okay. So myself, I am a director and a writer, based here in LA. And yeah, I got started filmmaking. Actually, got my first camera in middle school as a
Mhm.
graduation present, and I was just making videos with that. I feel like the first time I saw it structured was in high school. I
Mhm.
um, It's weird. It's like the early 2000s. Like, YouTube is a huge thing. I remember in Alabama where I went to high school, like, I don't know, somebody from a school did something on YouTube that like made all the school district like, oh, hey, we need to check YouTube to see what's going on. And so
Mm.
our school did that, and they saw my videos of just me and my friends, like, in school, because I used to bring my camera to school. So I got in trouble for that, actually. But
Oh, what?
funny enough, the principal was like, "Okay, well, why aren't you just in our film classes?" And I'm like, "Wait, we have film classes?" And like,
Wow.
instead of getting like suspended like some people did, I actually got them to enroll me in the film classes. So that was like my first time just like seeing it structured. And then
Mhm.
from there, I got accepted into a film camp separately over the summer called On the Set Film Camp. It was their first year, so I was in the inaugural like cohort. So we did like a short film in a week, and I was like, "Oh yes!" So from there, I went to Howard University for film production, and then I had my own company. It was called Dollar and a Dream Productions at the time
Mm.
at Howard, and we did a few. Had a few shows. We had a music video show too. Videos, yes. I had like two shows. We did some shorts and things like that. And then when I graduated, I evolved it to Will Film for Food Productions because that was my Instagram name, college theme of just like, I don't have nothing. So, I have to do it for a meal. Our mission is definitely to tell varied stories of like Black experience. We definitely want to bring like dynamic characters to the screen. Um,
Mhm.
I work with predominantly Black crew and cast, and it's been really great. We don't see how many people are actually behind the camera, and we do have a very long history of Black people being behind the camera. So continue that legacy and all of those things, and continue to tell just like dynamic stories. So been doing it for a few years. I'm hoping to do it for a few more. Like you said, I've done over 80 projects, which is crazy.
I love that. Y'all gotta clap it up for her. Okay. We gotta clap it up because that takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of resilience because this is not an easy industry as far as film and TV. Ebony is showing us you don't stop. But I think with that too, you built such a muscle, like you've done it since childhood. And
Yeah.
that's like amazing. I think that that could be a book. Like, and it's so like something to inspire young girls or children, because it's literally like working your craft. And I feel like that's what I'm getting from what you're saying. You have to work your craft and everything else will come. And I wanted to know more specifically what I guess I can ask this. What was your eureka moment? Like what was that moment when you said, I do want to have a production company for myself versus working for others?
So I feel like in terms of the production company, going to Howard for film production was great, but I had already touched the camera and directed a film by the time that I was enrolled. So a lot of the structure of the program was kind of like fundamentals first, and then you touch the camera, right? So I was kind of like, I already touched the camera. I don't want to wait anymore. I want to continue to do it. I wanted to make it open for everybody. I didn't want just film majors to feel like they were the only ones who could participate. So we had business majors. We had people who were doing medicine. Like we had people just all over campus. And I'm just like, if you just want to make content, I think everybody kind of had the bug of just like, oh, I can do film without having all these fancy cameras. And so, yeah, I actually sold most of my clothes to get my first camera. And I really wanted to, again, uplift and just showcase.
Listeners, this is what she did, and we're gonna get into that too. You put on your people.
Mhm.
You didn't wait for opportunity neither. You didn't ask for permission. You put yourself on. You gave yourself your own start. I can even speak to my own background, like waiting, oh, I have to go get this degree. I have to do XYZ to
Yeah.
then now make the film or do this project. And it's like, no, you just have to go out and do it. I love what you did and that you saw people's strengths. You asked them what their interests were. You didn't just say, well, you're not in film. You're not this major. Let's all just try to do this thing. Let's make it happen. Like, we got to start somewhere. So that's really powerful. It's a testament to your leadership. Talk to us about building a collective in film and why it's so important as filmmakers to do so.
Oh my gosh, community is so important in what we do. And it's funny enough because I think like in my real life, I can kind of be a little bit of a lone wolf. So I always had a teacher at Howard who's like, this is filmmaking is a group project. Like you cannot do it by yourself. So I would say like community is so, so, so important. And I'll give the example again, just being at Howard. And obviously, like when you're in a film school, like your classmates become your community. We all uplifted each other. We all helped each other on our projects. But and transitioning out of Howard and then having to start over again when I came to LA, that was very much a learning curve for me at first because I moved to LA with no family, two friends from Howard, just knowing those two people. And so it was like literally having to build from the ground up, especially as an adult, which can be a bit harder because you don't have school kind of forcing those connections. But I definitely had my friend Milan Murphy and Khalid Jordan. Like those two were like integral and just like keeping me afloat and just like, okay, I still want to do this. We just have to find people. So um Milan is from LA, so she like introduced me to some of her friends, and then
Mhm.
did he's also in the industry, so like he would also help and give advice. And then in working, I worked at Bad Robot when I first got here. And so
Mhm.
I had a friend named Chris who was also from LA, and he was a creative and knew a bunch of creatives. So then those people became part of my community. So it's kind of like, each one teach one, and, reach into your community to create one larger one. And that's what we did. And so eventually I had a big group of people that we were all just kind of doing the same thing. We were all out here in LA, but also with the same common goal in mind of just telling like great stories, keeping Black people at the forefront, really just trying to disprove the notion that we're not behind the camera. And so, we would try our hardest to just find every single role, in which we did. Down to crafty and post production. I think that it's very important to find your tribe. I think it's important to be open about where that tribe comes from. And you just kind of have to trust, like, I think if you're a good person, you attract good people, and that just keeps, paying off tenfold.
I love that. What was that era? What was that era?
That was like 2015 to like 2020. COVID changed
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, yeah. I was asking that because I went through like the same thing similar in New York. It was
Yeah,
like almost like a renaissance of
yeah.
like folks like I'm gonna try to create my own thing and I'm gonna put it out there. Like I remember I worked on a web series and I ended up becoming I went on as a production manager, but I ended up becoming the wardrobe, the producer. Crafty. So good to just jump in and then see what you're capable of, And also those are the folks who helped me cast for my film that I did, my short, or found producers, so it was like it carried through.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to just taking that leap, taking a risk and being open to what can happen. I think a lot of times we want to stay in our comfort, but if we don't leave, we won't be aligned to what is for us. Typically where we come from, our comfort zones are not going to get us to where we want to be. That alignment by you just moving, and being open.
That's
So
very
that leads me to my next question. What
true.
are your tips? So we have one on wellness for
Mhm.
creatives, one on ownership, and one on artistry.
Okay. So first one was wellness. You have to take care of your brain. Like you just, and I know that sounds so simple, but I mean that is where everything in our industry comes from, is like your creative mind. And in
Say it
order
again. Say it again because I not even for the creatives out here, for those who are not creatives or for those who are not in film, who think, oh, y'all just having fun. Y'all just don't know. Say it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
everything comes from your creative mind. And so I think that like you have to have the capacity. And it's hard, right? Because I'm not going to pretend like society isn't crumbling in the background. Even as a Black woman, you have your own things going on. And like you got to deal with racism, microaggression. So you have to preserve your peace, honestly, in order to create from that. And so some of the things that I do, one, I try to have a bedtime. But you just have to know when to take your breaks. If you can, like for me right now, I try to put pencils down by 10 p.m., but that's because I'm happy where I am right now. And I feel like, okay, I've done all the hard, like 24-hour days, 18, 20-hour days. Now I could probably do a 12, 16-hour day. Find the times to find a hobby. I'm trying to find a new hobby right now because it's hard. Like Usually hobbies come from creative things, and now we are creatives, and so that becomes something that you're monetizing and that you're working on. So TV is not even relaxing anymore because it's work. So you
That
gotta
part.
you gotta find a hobby. You gotta find time to rest, eat something good. I swear moving to LA will definitely do that to you because there's just so much health information out here. But that, like, just do the things that will keep you holistic and keep you sane, because if you burn out, if you run yourself into the ground, then you have nothing to pour from. Ownership. Ooh, advocate for yourself. Like that's, I just think, like, as black people and as black women, like, that is going to be the one thing people are going to try to tell you, like, how to do things. People are going to try to tell you that you're wrong. Like, you just really, really got to get in there and advocate for yourself in terms of ownership. um have your ducks in a row. Make sure you got that paperwork. I know it's your friends. I know it might seem low stakes and like your first thing, but you always want to make sure that the legal things, even if it's just like a written agreement, stands up. You don't always have to have a lawyer. Like, if you just write, "Hey, Karima, we're agreeing to these terms, 1, 2, and 3," that is a legal document. So just make sure you have those things in writing. And then artistry, just consuming art that's not always mainstream, I think helps. Like, go to your local art shows, go take a pottery class, go look into different forms of media, photography. One thing, coffee books are so expensive. Just go to the bookstore and go look through some of them because they have really nice photography. Just consume art, but try to consume it in, I think, non-conventional ways. I think that's a good way to just keep your mind, like, uh in tune with what's going on in the world.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And as far as directing,
Mm-hmm.
what would you advise someone who is embarking on their first project? Like, what would you say to them to stay committed? And also, if they don't know up from down as it pertains to directing.
I think for directing, well, one, I always treat it like, I just watched so much TV as a kid. Like, I lived in front of the TV. So when I directed, I always was just like, okay, well, what did I see on, like, if I was watching this, what would I want to see? I would want to see a close up of this person doing this because I'm nosy. I would want to see a side profile because that's cool. Like, so I think, like, number one, trust your instincts. You definitely want to be able to speak the language of your DP, your director of photography. Kind of see yourself as like the host of a party, and you want to make sure everybody's having a good time. So just learning, going the extra mile to learn how to speak to your director of photography, who will be like your best friend, and also learning how to speak to actors. Like, you can't just say, "Do it better." I tell people all the time, you should take an acting class just to learn how to speak to a cast member and how to learn what they go through in their process. It makes you more empathetic, I feel like. I think empathy is also one of the greatest things you can have as a director. I would say my advice is to learn what people do, learn how to speak the language, learn how to be respectful of people's times, make sure you're being timely, but also making sure you get what you want. And again, going back to it, advocate for yourself, because that is also, while you are the host of this party, you do still have to run the ship.
Woo! God, I'm telling y'all right now. She just gave you, I would say, the philosophy. You're still going to have to put in the work, you know, but the philosophy of it all, I love that metaphor you said with the host.
Yeah.
I truly feel that is true. And with any host, your vibe affects your tribe, your people who are
Yes.
coming in, who are there at your party, at your event. So if you come in as a director and you like, people are like, what? It will happen. You said like you're about to host, like you're about to literally give yourself, because that's what directing is. You're giving like all of you. So thank you. We got a this was a mini master class, yeah. This was a mini master class in like 10-20 minutes. Okay. And with that, I want to get back into some, seasonal things. We're in the Oscar season, So with Oscar season, can you tell me like what it is to hear that Sinners has had the most nominations in Oscar history. Like, what does that mean to you?
Amazing. I am so like I am a Ryan Coogler stan because I just feel like he is a lover of film, and I think like how special and how rewarding it has to feel to just be able to be that as a Black director. I think there's so many things that we're up against in terms of our careers. And so just to be able to play like he did, like to shoot his film and IMAX and like just like everything that he's done technically that like speaks to us film nerds, I think is just so amazing while also telling our stories, you know, and just being
Mhm.
true to his culture. Like I don't think that is common, and I don't think that that's something to take for granted. First of all, I stand him because he's always got Black women around him, so love
Yes.
that. And I just think like I saw Sinners like I think 4 times, which is crazy because I wasn't even gonna watch it at first because I'm not like I was like vampire film.
Yeah, I cannot do vampires. I was
No,
like, Lord.
but also when he
Mhm.
broke down just the different ways you could view it and how he filmed it, I was like, oh, I have to see this. Like this is like
Mm.
cinematic gold what he's doing right now. And I just went in. I was like, oh my gosh, I love a vampire film. Like for the Oscars too, like genre films do not do well. Like they
Mhm.
rarely get comedies to get respect in the Oscars. So let alone like a genre film such as a vampire movie. Like I think that everything that he's doing is so smart. It's so fun. It's so
Mhm.
inspiring, honestly,
Yes.
because I think
Yes.
again, going back to if you see it, you can believe it. Like we're seeing a Black director playing and being free in his storytelling and being rewarded for it. And that's not a
Mhm.
lesson that we often see. I'm very, very, very proud. Like I know him. Like I'm just
Yes. Yes. Me too. I'm like super, grateful that this is in our era that we get to
yeah,
see this, like it's so monumental. And I recently saw him and Spike Lee in an interview, and I'm like, wow, like it's like he's so proud, like it's like to pass the torch on, and you're just seeing like all of our, pioneers, I would say, who are like, all right, we're good. Like we're in
yeah,
good hands as a culture, and
yeah.
it's so inspiring because I feel like what I love about Ryan Coogler is that he is authentic and he is representing for the culture unapologetically
Oh,
and showing us, look how you rise by being true to that. And tying to that, I want you to tell us, Ryan Coogler adjacent, tell us about working with Chadwick Boseman. Like,
oh,
how was that?
it was great. 42 is always going to have a special place in my heart because it was my first studio film. So,
Mhm.
background on that is I just came back from my sophomore year at Howard. I was at home. I just came from a job interview for a job that I did not want because I didn't want to be in Alabama. I had had my heart broken, so I was like, I don't want to run to my ex. My dad called me. He's a pastor, and he was like, "Oh, there's like a film crew here touring the church. Don't you want to do something like that?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm in school for film. Like, oh, you know how people are. Like,
I know.
what do you mean? Don't you want to do something like that?"
Do you not know?
To me for half the year. I'm at school. Black parents are so
Oh,
funny.
Lord.
So I was like, oh yeah. So he's like, oh, come on down. And I can come talk to them. So talk to them. And there was a producer, and I was like, hey, I will carry water on set. Like, can we please be gang? Can y'all jump me in? Like, I'm
I
trying to
love it.
trying to see where y'all doing. So he's like, oh, we're about to shoot in Atlanta. He said, we have an intern program. So yeah, we'll just add you on to the intern program. I was like, okay, bet. So I had to figure all of that out. Stayed with my mom's childhood friend. Didn't have a car or anything. So it took me like 2 hours to get to set every day and 2 hours to get back home on top of the 14, 12-hour days.
This is like pre-Uber?
Yeah, this is like 2012. But I had so much fun. It did not
Mhm,
matter. I did not care.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
working with them was so great. Chadwick was great. He's also a Howard alum, so we talked about Howard. He uh, he was just great. He was a professional. Him, Nicole, Andre, like it was just so cool to see like the level of professionalism and just like
Mhm.
still having fun. I think anybody will tell you like that was a very special cast and crew. Also from there I met so many important like crew members. Like my first day,
Mhm.
I followed D Stevens, who's a set photographer, and he actually did like the Love and Basketball poster, Players Club, like all of that.
Mm.
He put me on game. He gave me what I say is the most valuable advice I've ever gotten in this industry. My first day, he said, "Look around. Look at how many people look like you." He said, "Now this is a movie about Black people, but still, look at how many Black people." It was not a lot. Like I could
Mm.
probably count on my fingers. And he was like, "So it's very important for you to make a name for yourself." So he's like, "I'll introduce you today. After that, you need to learn how to introduce yourself." That was a lot for me, but I did it and it really did pay off. I still talk to a lot of those people today. Actually, I think the second AD on that film was on the AD team for Sinners, oddly enough. So
Mm.
yeah, he's a Black man. But I met one of my mentors, Noel Green, I met so many people who just like set me on my way in this journey.
Touching someone is all that is important, making sure you touch
Oh,
someone through your journey. So that's wonderful that you've had that. And that's what I feel like speaks to this whole interview, like being within community, sustaining
yeah.
community, building community, you know, and having a good time in community. Like, so that's what I love about your journey. And I want to give us one more question. It's your Rise, Shine, and Thrive song.
Ah, I have so many. I have a playlist dedicated to this. I feel like, okay, off the top of my head, maybe Booby Miles by Big Crit. Um,
Okay. Okay.
the one that Big Crit always gets me motivated because he's just like, get up and get it.
Amazing. Well, Ebony, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the podcast. Yes, I really believe that folks are going to find great value from this. I hope you all were taking notes, okay? Because she has some very great gems. And again, I would say a lot of it is rooted in community
Yeah.
and also just loving your artistry. I think we lose sight of that. Like we get into film, TV, the arts for the love of it. That I want you to just tell us how we can stay in contact with you, what you got coming, and how we can support.
Yes. So you can stay in contact with me on socials. I am at Will Film for Food. Will Film the number 4 food. Coming up, I have some great projects. I'm currently working on a indie drama with an amazing writer named Bree Belser called Victory Drive. Also working on a comedy feature, which I'm very excited for because everything is so
Mm.
heavy. So I am
Yeah.
excited to make people laugh. Also written by an amazing writer named Huncho Henderson. Also, I have a visual podcast that I directed is launching this month in March. It's by Sidewalk Productions, and it's a podcast, a visual podcast, but it explores like Black women and just kind of like our holistic health. So we have a few actresses, and they'll talk about like sobriety while making mocktails, or like we'll do candle making and things of that nature. So
Mm.
it'll be launching on YouTube. You can see on my socials, I'll be posting about it, but that should be coming out this March. So
Okay. Tell us again the name of the podcast.
while we
Wowie. Ooh, that's a vibe. Okay, I can't wait to tune into that. I'll be tuning
yeah.
in because we are wellness folks
Yes.
over here at Rare Maven, so we will definitely support over here. Send us all the trailers. We got you. We were posting, we were sharing.
Love it.
Well,
Okay.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank
And thank
you.
you, everyone who's listened to the podcast. To stay in contact with us, please follow us at RareMaven.media and check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and our Rare Maven site. We now have our services up. So if y'all need event support, live production support, development, we got you. And remember to own what you create and celebrate you. All right. Thank you. Bye.